naughty boy, and we're going to talk about naughty boys. In just a moment. Why, hello! How the devil are we? Good. So this is our new road, this is called. It's not particularly new. It's only a few hundred years old. Now this is an old turnpike as well. The old road used to come through here and up the side. Oh, what have I pressed? Just to the right of where it says A352. And it would have come out where the lay-by is up here on the right hand side. Would have emerged up through here. But obviously it was a bit of a steep incline. And so the turnpike was put in through this route. And here we have the toll house. How exciting. And you see the little bay window there, so they could see traffic approaching from both directions. Marvellous. Anyway, we're not interested in all that malarkey. All that rubbish. So while I'm out today, I thought I'd commit channel suicide. Channel suicide? Yes. I thought I'd criticise Uncle Fillingham. Uncle Fillingham. Now, he's very successful. He's got about 10 trillion subscribers. Alright, about 100,000, I think. And I've been subscribed to him for a couple of years. I don't watch a lot of him, to be honest. But the video he put up during the course of last week, the title caught my eye because it tied in beautifully to the video I made a couple of weeks ago. And it was all about, you know, horsepower and how many people claim that, oh, you don't need more than 20 horsepower, or you don't need more than 40 horsepower. And you can have more fun on a small capacity bike, pushing it to its limits, than you can on a big motorbike and having to rein the throttle in. Well, bollocks, I'm afraid, in my humble opinion, which not many people care for or are interested in, but I shall share it nonetheless. So I actually left a comment on Mr. Fillingham's video, which he proceeded to delete, which again speaks volumes to me about the sort of person he is at heart, because it wasn't a rude comment, it wasn't a trolling comment, it was merely a contradictory view which highlighted the logical fallacy in his statement. So if you haven't seen it, I will link it up here somewhere, probably. But what I'll do is I'll give you a very shortened synopsis of what he was essentially saying, which was, you don't need more than 40 brake horsepower. You just don't need it. And if you've bought anything with more than 40 horsepower, you're a gullible idiot. You've fallen foul of clever marketing. He also made the statement that most people don't know there's a difference in scale between PS, which is the German name for horsepower, horsepower itself, and kilowatts. And these are all terms that we find that describe motorcycle specifications, engine specifications. And he was leaning into the idea that not only do most people not understand that they're not all directly interchangeable, that you have to do a conversion, he was also suggesting I can't remember what I was going to say then. Oh dear. Oh yeah, he was also saying, see, it was so much bollocks that it frazzled my brain. He was also saying that companies will use a particular figure in order to obfuscate the true nature of the performance of that engine, so that they will use the term that looks like the largest number. I mean, which again is absolute bollocks, because the numbers don't change, the formulas don't change. Kilowatts will always read as a lower figure than PS and horsepower. So there is never any advantage to you supplying kilowatts as a denominator. There just isn't, because it will always read lower. He went on to discuss an article which a publication or something had performed these road tests in which the rider was told, here's a small capacity motorcycle, here's a brute of a motorcycle, go and get the most out of them without breaking the speed limit, and we'll record how much horsepower you are actually making use of. And that it found at no point did you use more than, say, 40 or 50 brake horsepower, whichever vehicle you were riding. Again, horse shit. I'm sorry. This has got a claimed, I don't know, 92 brake horsepower. It's probably a bit less, because it always is a bit less, isn't it? Let's be honest. Now, if I put this in sport and wind the throttle open and get myself up to 60 mile an hour as fast as possible, I will be using more horsepower than, say, if I was on a Royal Enfield Classic 350 and I did the same. It makes no, there's no allowance for differential in torque values, weight of the motorcycle, weight of the ride. I mean, there's a whole slew of things. So I don't buy it. I haven't read the article. I'll see if I can find it. And they may well prove me wrong. But my gut instinct just says, yeah, whatever. So his whole video premise is flawed. Because I don't know anyone who thinks that the different different units of measurement, shall we say, are directly one-to-one interchangeable. I just don't know anyone who thinks that. Two, I don't know anyone who has fallen for this manufacturer's conspiracy to drum it into you that you need to buy higher horsepower machines. And also, none of us need them in the first instance. So, in the comment I left for him, it was, well, look, we don't really need many things in life, do we? As long as we've got food, shelter, sanitation and healthcare, it's pretty much all we actually need in life. Everything else is a luxury, isn't it? Does he need a mini clubman to drive around in? No. A Trabant would do, wouldn't it? Does he need a Rolex watch? No. A 99p Casio copy thing would do, wouldn't it? Does he need his expensive jingle jangle jewellery? No. These are all nice things to have. Does he need to live in, say, a 3-bedroom house if it's just him and his wife? No. It's a nice thing to have. And so the same can be true for a motorcycle, can it not? None of us need more than probably about 15 brake horsepower, to be honest. Do we? You can make any arbitrary figure and say we don't need more than it. As long as it propels itself along, that's all you need. But it's not a question of need, is it? Sometimes it's a question of want, of desire. Oh, hang on, that was a nice view, wasn't it? We should have to turn round somewhere. Nice view, isn't it? So yes, where was I? Oh yeah. Fillingham. So yes, none of us really need anything, do we? But maybe we just want to have it. Maybe people like the idea of having 150 brake horsepower. There's nothing wrong with that. And as another great thinker said, you know, you might know him. He motorcycles all year round. That's not even considering the other advantages that you get as a result of having perhaps a bigger bike with more horsepower. And that is stability, a sense of road presence, all these other factors. My God. I've just had a message come through on the headset. And he was so loud. Yeah, it made me jump out of my skin, that did. And no, I won't be going through the ford. It's not going to happen. And I'm coming up here on my AR125. And the rear sprocket and chamber absolutely buggered. And it kept slipping. Got about this far, I think.